Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, on May 1st, 2023, I made a video on Avdiivka, and I stated there that this is the video: Ukrainian troops trapped in Avdiivka, Russians control access. It's impossible to enter the town, end quote. And this is a video that I made regarding using an article that was telling us how the Ukrainians are trying to enter the town to save civilians trapped under rubble and all that after the Russians' shelling of the city. And as always, you find the information from a different subject in other articles. So here I found that actually, according to Ukrainians, nobody can come in and out of the city because they're trapped over there, because the Russians control the exits. So they get bombarded. So then, that was then. And now I have another article coming from the Ukrainians, and they inform us, I think it's like that a civilian evacuation of Avdiivka will start. So now they evacuate the civilians. That if you evacuate the civilians that you defended somehow for about 7 months within the city limits, now you evacuate them after you defended them and those guys shelled you over there. If the Ukrainian army would not have been in the city of Avdiivka but be outside and fight the Russians differently, I don't think the Russians would have shelled the city. But hey, that's just me, talking smack. So let's go and see what this article that I have prepared here says about all this. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It is from today, which is Thursday, May 4th, 2023. All civilians to be evacuated from Avdiivka soon. Do you say soon because you hope there will be no more civilians to be evacuated, which will make your job easier? Weasel? Is that what it is? Jesus Christ. It's unbelievable, man. Where is Avdiivka and what's going on? So this is the map of Ukraine. This is where the hostilities occur. This is where the Russians control right now. And Avdiivka is right here in Donetsk, right here, where this little black AK-47 is. This is Bakhmut right here, Artemovsk by the Russians. Here is Marinka, so you know where the three things are. Bakhmut is the same thing as Avdiivka. You see, it's surrounded on the flanks, the Russians gain territory here and they bombard the only exit or entrance towards Bakhmut right here, which is almost occupied, controlled, like how we want to put it. Avdiivka, it doesn't seem that the town to be under the Russian control, but you see where the forces are. So if this go a little bit further and this go a little bit further, you can have here like a Stalingrad. You're done. You're done in here. And there's no Russians. They can just pull out and let you be starving over there and just shell you from outside. They don't even have to go, if they're like that, and don't have to do anything. So they're going to try to evacuate, I'm assuming, through this little road, which is under these guys' bombardment, according to that article that I covered in this video from May 1st. So let's continue reading the article from the Ukrainians. Hello, baby doll, what's happened to you? This is like Star Wars, those little things that show up anyway, you know what I mean? I think there were two of them burned at one point, bombarded, laughing all the time. Anyway, Serhiy Telyatski, oh my God, Telyatski, commander of the Tavria from Joint Defense Forces Center, has reported that Ukraine is striving to evacuate all civilians from the war-torn city of Avdiivka. So he's striving, okay. By next Christmas in Donetsk Oblast. Now, quote from this Telyatski. There are still civilians remaining in Avdiivka. There are very few of them, and it is likely that in the near future all civilians will be evacuated from Avdiivka. How? This article that I read here says you can't get in and get out. That's what your Ukrainian emergency personnel said. No cars, no trucks can get in or out the city. This is what they say. I'm quoting them. It's impossible to enter the town. If it's impossible to enter, I think it's also impossible to exit, since you don't hold the keys. My God. Anyway. He explained, so this guy, Talititsky, added that earlier this year, all civilians had been evacuated from the city of Marinka. Oh my God, so Marinka is also evacuated. That's good to know, right here. That means no casualties. And here is Artemovsk. So this was not as bad as this one, Avdiivka or Artemovsk, Bakhmut. No, but it seems like here is a big, they have already evacuated. These are, see, not encircled, nothing like that. He explained the evacuation from the city was still ongoing. He said that over the course of the 24 hours, Russia has lost around 2 companies worth of military personnel killed or injured on the Tavria front. He said Russian occupation forces were resorting to, and I'm quoting, cannon fodder assaults. And quote, sending their troops on assault operations without sufficient fire cover. Ukrainian defense forces destroyed 28 pieces of Russian. Okay, yeah, you did so many great things here, but you are going to defend it and get your civilians out. Great. He also reported that the Russian forces had carried out 24 attempts to storm the positions of Ukrainian forces. He explained that on the Tavria front, the majority of the Russian forces consisted of the armed forces of the Russian Federation rather than the Wagner Group. Is that a good thing or that's a bad thing? Because Wagner Group, being a mercenary group, a troop, whatever you want to call it, that means they're really, really bad dudes. So do you want the military or you want the paramilitary? So according to this Tartursky, Tokorutsky, most of the civilian population from Avdiivka was evacuated. All the civilian population was evacuated from Marinka, and they went where? To Germany? I really don't get this one. Yeah, you're afraid of the Russians coming over and doing what the Soviet army, including the Ukrainian army, was involved in the Soviet army. When they came over to Germany, what they did to the German population, especially women, that was a how do you call it? I don't want to call it Holocaust because that's based on fire. Genocide. An elimination of a nation. How? By impregnation. And if you don't believe me, imagine that the country, just a nation, let's say a nation of green people, go and attack a nation of, let's say, white people. Or maybe not white, let's put a different color so people don't think I'm saying something here. So green people, purple people. And the green people come over here and they impregnate the women forcefully of these purple people. What's going to be over there? It's going to be still purple? No, it's going to be the same of the two, which is not going to be diversity anymore. It's going to be one thing. You see, this why when these guys call for diversity and, you know, this and that, but they are trying to mix whomever with whomever. You're not going to have diversity because it's going to be a mixture of something. So you're going to call everybody's mixed. So you're not going to have, I don't know, a white dove with a green dove with a purple dove. You're going to have something of... So that's one. Before you had 3 kinds. Around now you have one of 3 something over there. So it's idiotic, but I'm not going to go deeper into that. So anyway, good job. Get them all out if you can. A little bit late, but better later than never. What I think they're going to do, they will try to evacuate the civilians, where actually would be the military evacuating. You know, we are civilians, don't shoot, don't shoot. We put the white flag and the red cross. We're here, we're just civilians. And they hide little automatic weapons and whatever they have. And they leave everything there. Could be, I have seen this before. How? Just read a few books or one is enough. a good one, and you're going to find out it happened before. So anyway, I hope the civilians are safe. I hope the war ends like this and they talk about certain things, but they don't have to talk with the guys in Kiev. They have to talk with the guys in there and in there. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.